In this video, we are going to talk about complementary and supplementary angles. First, we have some notes here about those two types of angles. Complementary angles sum to 90 degrees. That means when you add them, they equal 90 degrees. Supplementary angles sum to 180 degrees. Adjacent angles share a side. So anytime you have two angles, so for instance, we have this angle here and this angle here, they share this side. So that is what makes them adjacent angles. Going a little bit further on that one, a linear pair is formed by two adjacent angles that are also supplementary. So a linear pair is formed by two adjacent angles. So there's 1, 2, and they form a straight line, which makes them supplementary, which makes them a linear pair. A right angle is 90 degrees and is marked with a box most of the time. So you'll see a little box like this that denotes a 90-degree angle. Then if an angle is less than 90 degrees, that is called acute. And if an angle is greater than 90 degrees, that is called obtuse. Now we're just going to do some examples using those complementary and supplementary angles. Example 1, what is the relationship between angle A and angle B? Well, A and B are sharing that side here, so that makes them adjacent. They also form this straight line, which makes them a linear pair. And all linear pairs, because they form a straight line, makes them supplementary. Number 2, the sum of the angles in a triangle is 180 degrees. A right triangle has one 90-degree angle. So that is noted right here. This is the 90-degree angle in that triangle. What is the relationship between the other two angles? So what's the relationship between A and B if all three of these add up to 180 and this one here is 90 degrees? Okay, well, if A plus B plus the 90 degrees is 180 in total, and then if we subtract out that 90 degrees, then we're left with A plus B has to equal 90. So A and B have to add up to 90 because 90 plus 90 would be 180. So angle A and angle B are complementary because they form a 90 degrees. Misspelled that. There we go. So they're complementary because they sum to be 90 degrees. Number 3, which of the following angle pairs are complementary? Select all that apply. So essentially all we're doing here is adding these up and seeing which ones are complementary, meaning they add to be 90 degrees. All right, the first one, 34 and 56. Well, 30, 50, that's 80. 4 and 6 is 10, so 80 and 10 gives us 90. 25 and 155. Well, immediately, 155 is going to be way too large for a 90-degree angle. So it's not B. The third one, 70 and 20, that adds to be 90. 130 and 50 would be 180, that's too big, that would be supplementary. And then 60 and 30 add to be 90. Okay, so each one of these, when you add them together, they equal 90 degrees. Number 4, the relationship between angle 2 and angle 3. So that would be this angle and this angle. All right, vertical angles, that's ones that are across from one another, so it's not A. Corresponding angles is when you actually need two parallel lines for that, and we only have just one intersection here. A linear pair. Okay, well, angle 2 and angle 3 do form this straight line, so that would be a linear pair, but they would not be complementary because they would add up to be 180, not 90. Number 5, which of the following is a supplementary pair? Okay, so let's trace out each of these angle pairs. AOB and COD. So AOB would be this one, and COD would be this one. Now, that's this angle and this angle. But in order to be supplementary, we would need this one as well to form that straight line. So it's not A. B, COD, and EOF. So that would be these two. Again, in order to form this straight line, we would need this angle included as well. So it's not B. C, DOF, so that's this angle here, and FOA, so that would be this angle here. Now, those two angles, this one and this one, do form a straight line, so our answer is going to be C. Let's just check D to be sure. FOA and BOC. Again, that would be these two angles, and we would need the middle one in order to form that linear pair. Number 6. What is the measure of angle X, and how do you know? So I believe angle X should have been here. So angle X plus 45 plus 53 forms this straight line, which is 180 degrees. So 180 is going to be equal to 45 plus 53 plus X. Okay, so now 180, I'm going to take away that degree symbol, equals, let's see, that would be 98 plus X. And then just subtract 98 on both sides. Right, so 180 minus 98, let's see, 180 minus 100 would be 80, add 2 to that, so that would be 82, equals X. So X is 82 degrees. Number 7, angles A and B are complementary. Okay, what is the largest possible measure of angle B? Okay, so if A plus B must equal 90 because they're complementary, what's the largest measure of angle B? Okay, so the largest that angle B could possibly be is 89 degrees, right? Because if you have A plus B, then the largest that one of those can be is 89 and the other one can be 1. So let's say 1 plus 89 is 90, right? So the largest that B can be is 89. So angle B can be at most 89 degrees. Angles B and C, so the same angle B and C are a linear pair. Okay, so B plus C forms 180 degrees. What is the smallest possible measure of angle C? Okay, well, if B can be at most 89, that's the biggest that this one can be, that's going to mean that C can be its smallest measure at that point. So what would C be if B is 89 degrees? So that would be 180 minus 89 equals C. All right, so just subtracting 89 on both sides. So 180 minus 89 would give us 91 degrees. So that's the smallest that angle C could possibly be. Number 8, find the measure of angle L. Okay, so that would be find out what 2x is. So we talked about before, we have a right triangle, so that's 90 degrees. That means these two have to add up to be 90 degrees total. So 2x plus x equals 90. Well, that gives us 3x equals 90, and divide by 3 on both sides. So x is the measure 30, but we can't stop there. We want to know what is the measure of angle L. So angle L is 2x, which would be 2 times 30, which is 60. And finally, number 9. Find the measure of angle DBC. So remember angle DBC, that means that you're starting to draw that angle by angle D, B, and then, whoops, wrong direction, D, B, C. So we want to know this angle, 5x plus 3. Okay, well these two form a linear pair. Okay, so this angle plus this angle form that straight line. So we can say that 4x minus 3 plus 5x plus 3 equals 180. Right, so now we can drop those parentheses. We don't need to distribute anything. So we have 4x minus 3 plus 5x plus 3 equals 180. So let's see, 4x plus 5x is 9x. Negative 3 plus 3 is 0, so we're just going to bring down that equal sign and 180. Then divide by 9. So 180 divided by 9 would be 20. All right, well if x is 20, then we need to know the measure of angle L, or not, sorry, angle DBC. I was thinking about that last problem. So DBC is 5x plus 3, and we're going to plug in 20 for x. So that would be 5 times 20 is 100, plus 3. Angle DBC is 103 degrees.